Derek Gilbert here with Keller Williams Realty. And today I wanted to take our normal time that we do our market update and just kind of give an overall summary of kind of what's going on right now, what we're seeing in the real estate market due to everything happening with the coronavirus, all the different things that are taking place as far as different businesses shutting down, etc. Because I'm sure a lot of people are concerned about what's happening in the real estate side, what are our home values doing, what are interest rates doing, all those types of things. So first of all, let's just kind of start with some of the high level talking points. What are we here at the Gilbert Group doing in response to all of this? So obviously what we've done is we're pretty virtual anyways. We have all of our office space physically at the Keller Williams DTC office, but real estate by nature tends to be a little bit more virtual. So all of our team members, Yvonne, Lacey, Taylor, our title companies, our lenders, everybody's pretty much virtual, working from home at this point. So we're making sure that we're following all those procedures. As you can see by the backdrop behind me, I'm actually up here in Summit County, which actually has some of the highest cases. So I've been kind of quarantining myself up here for the past week or so. I'll probably be heading back to Denver here shortly. But anyways, those are some of the things that we've been doing as a team. As far as what we're doing with our clients, we've actually moved a bunch of our appointments that we had scheduled with certain buyers and sellers to either do those via Zoom, like we're doing today. We can do things obviously via conference call, things of that nature. We pushed a couple off that weren't necessarily as urgent. So we're doing everything that we can to possibly just try to, minimize all of that social contact and keep people safe and, do what we can on our part to make sure that, we're still operating, but we're doing things cautiously. The other things that we're doing is we actually went through our entire file list this week just to kind of check in with everybody. We've been calling all the lenders on all of our cross deals. We're calling either the other agents on the buy side or on the sell side. We have 10 properties closing this month, so we have a lot going on. So we just want to be proactive on making sure that everything is continuing to move along. We don't have any cancellations. I've also been talking to a lot of other agents to kind of see what they're seeing in their business. So far in ours, it seems to be business as usual. In fact, this last weekend, we sold 4 more homes. 2 of those were listings, 2 of those were buyers. Now, one of those buyers was a $1 million+ buyer. One of our other buyers was a $500+ buyer. And the 2 properties that we had listed were right around that $500,000 range as well. A couple of those properties, one of them, we actually canceled the open house. The other one, we kept a short one. We're canceling those moving forward and just moving over to scheduled showings only. What I can tell you is we had multiple offers on both of those properties even this last weekend. In showing buyers properties this last week, the homes were still packed. So what we're seeing is that there's still a lot of demand out there. The inventory is low, and there's buyers that still really want to be in property. We're getting into what would normally be the height of our market: March, April, May, June. Those are typically our top months. This year, our market started a little bit earlier, so we had a pretty big momentum already coming into the spring that's been kind of pushing forward. So we'll keep you updated if we see any other changes there. But in response to this, we've been talking to our buyers and sellers, making sure that before and after showings, obviously everybody's sanitizing. We're bringing things to make sure that we're not spreading any potential, coronavirus or anything like that. Like I said, we've been moving to scheduled showings instead of open houses. But other than that, everything else is still moving along pretty quickly. Like I mentioned, in real estate, we're a tech-heavy team, so a lot of our marketing that we do is internet-based marketing, tech-based marketing. That tends to be where most buyers are these days. So a lot of what we're already doing works perfectly for the mobile work that we're doing, so we can continue to move along pretty much uninterrupted as far as that goes. Now, here's an interesting one. The Fed came out, said that they were dropping the interest rate to 0%. So immediately, a lot of people, if they don't understand real estate or aren't quite in tune with that market, think that their mortgage rates or interest rates are going to plummet and they're going to see these really low 0% or 1%, 2% interest rates. That's not the case. Those two don't correlate next to each other. That 0% is more the funding rate, which is going to basically allow businesses to continue. That is to put money out into the business world so that all of these businesses that are having to lay off workers, that don't have income coming in, that they can get these loans, they can get this to cash to be able to continue to operate. That doesn't necessarily correlate directly to mortgage rates and interest rates. In fact, what's interesting is about 2 weeks ago, when the Fed had cut rates, we were seeing interest rates around 3%. There was a small window of time where it was even below 3%. We were seeing people getting mortgage rates in the mid to high twos. As of today, I just talked to my lender here 15 minutes ago. Rates have actually gone up. So we've been seeing rates getting over 4% again. So in the matter of a week, we've seen rates go from 3% to 4%. So there's a lot of volatility. So we're really watching that closely to see if that's going to have an impact on our market. Obviously, on the buy side, that's going to change people's qualifications, their monthly mortgage payments and stuff. So we'll see if there's a long-term effect to that, and if that's something that continues to increase or stay at these higher rates than what they were a couple weeks ago. Here's some other things that we're doing. If you're interested in talking to us about buying or selling a home, we can still meet with you. We're just doing these things virtually, so we can do a Zoom meeting if you like. We can do a conference call. If you want to meet in person, we can still do that. We're just taking some extra precautions there. So we haven't really changed a whole lot of way that we do business in that regard. As far as the market goes, we haven't seen any major price drops. Like I mentioned before, we've actually seen the opposite. We're still seeing some multiple offers out there. There's just not a lot of inventory. I think the big thing to watch is going to be what happens with interest rates, because interest rates obviously kind of drive the real estate market. So if they really start skyrocketing, that's going to slow the market down a little bit, may start to put some pressure on pricing later this year, but I don't see anything in the foreseeable future. And once again, this is not a long-term, a long-term event that we're going through. Everybody's taking precautionary events so that hopefully we can get through this quickly. So our, hopes is that in the next month or 2 months, everything kind of goes back to business as usual. So if that's the case, this will be a small blip in the market. Real estate is like the Titanic. It takes a long time to turn that ship. So some small things like that might have short-term effects, but over the long run, we're not going to see any major crashes. We're not going to see huge price reductions, anything like that, unless something unforeseeable happened that would cause a much longer-term effect. So as of right now, everything is looking good there. On the closing side, all of our closings are continuing to move forward. We've had a few people that have requested mobile notaries. So if that's something people are interested in, the title companies a lot of the time can accommodate. Send a mobile notary to your home. You can actually sign your documents in the comfort of your own home. You don't need to go out in public. You don't need to go to the title companies. So there's some things that we can do there as well. So I think all in all, that covers the highlights of what I really wanted to go through today. So from a real estate perspective, things are still looking pretty good. The market's moving along. We haven't had any major cancellations. I've talked to some other agents. They've seen a few. A lot of those were due to maybe people that were in the sectors that were heavily affected, retail, food and beverage, travel, things like that, where that money's not coming in anymore. So it's affected some of their loan qualifications, at least temporarily. So there have been a few cancellations, but we, so far in the Gilbert Group, haven't had any of those come to fruition. So anyways, I hope that's good news. I hope you found this valuable today. Anyways, if you need any of our help, please reach out to us. You can always reach me directly on my cell phone at 720-480-9877. If you'd like to schedule a meeting virtual, we'll actually send you the Calendly link. You can schedule with us right there. We can always set up a 15-minute consultation, or if you want to do an hour-long consultation, we can do that as well. But we are here to help you. We're here to answer all your questions. We want to calm any concerns and basically be your resource for information here in the real estate market during these interesting times. So thank you again, and we look forward to speaking to you soon. Stay safe, everybody.